bitches from the frat house. Look, Miss Sarah Pings, we are outside again. It is beautiful outside today, so I couldn't resist. Had to come outside. And besides that, the baby's sleeping. So, oh, here comes motorcycle guy. Hang on. Y'all hear that? Yeah. All hours of the day and night. And I will bet you that baby is no longer sleeping. I'm telling you, I want one day, I would never do this, but I so want to sneak down the street to that guy's house and take out his flux capacitor or whatever out of that motorcycle and shove a bunch of dirty gym socks from the older boys up in the muffler so that thing is quiet. So I'm going to finish this intro and then I'm going to go stick my head in and see if he woke the baby up. Yeah, you hear that? Can you guys hear that? That's him like 4 blocks away, no joke. Seriously. Okay, sorry. I'm so glad I'm not the only one who heard that today. So we're outside. I wanted to take you guys through an update of my setup. The last setup video I did was my first video, and that was, I think, almost 2 months ago. And that was when I was only using one planner, and since then I have broken my steadfast rule and using 2. Don't tell on me. I've always only used one planner, but 2 is really working for me right now. So I wanted to show you guys how that's working. Several people on Facebook had asked how I'm making 2 planners work and how I'm making them work together. And because it's fall, I always tend to change the colors, so I have a little bit darker dividers, darker post-its, stuff like that. So I'm going to walk you guys through it. If you have any questions or comments or anything that you would like to tell Motorcycle Man, let me know, okay? Thank you guys so much. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye. So here we go. The wind is picking up a little bit, so let's hope that it doesn't distract us too much. And you can see my reflection in the table. Hello. Okay, so this has become my on-the-go, take it everywhere with me planner and wallet. I'm using it combined. It's just one less thing I have to carry if I don't have to carry a wallet. So what has changed since the last time? Actually, quite a bit has changed since the last time I showed you guys this. So I added a couple charms. I'm one of those people, I'll throw some charms on and then I'll take them off. And then I'll throw them on and then I'll take them off. So once it gets caught on something enough times, I'll take them back off again. The front is exactly the same as before. So I have some small business cards in here, those little half-size business cards, cash, and then all, coupon, all the stuff we all have. Bigger pocket, the only thing I did differently, I don't remember if I had this before or not, I just stuck an envelope in here. I have some things in there that I need to hang on to for like more than a month, stuff I'm going to need and I don't want to lose it. So I stick it in an envelope just because when I do put other things in there, things get crushed. So it's easier if I just leave them in an envelope. And then empty pocket, that is for my phone, just like before. So iPhone 5 will fit into this pocket nicely. Fits a little better if you don't have a case on it, but I have fumble fingers, so I'm better off if I keep a case on the phone of some kind. Doesn't zip shut, but I haven't had it fall out yet. I can keep it in there, no problem. Obviously, when the planner is closed, the phone stays in there. The only time I really stick the phone in there is if I'm in the grocery store. And somebody did suggest putting it in the pocket back here, which is a fantastic idea. Didn't work for me only because, not so much because I had stuff back here, but because when I put the phone back there and then I'm working on the grocery list, it's hard for me to quick add stuff and check stuff off because it's all lumpy back there from the phone. So I put that back in my pocket. So that is the same. Cute little camera clip. Miss Amy sent me the remainder of her 2013 2 pages per week Filofax calendar. Thank you, Amy, so much. It is perfect. And this was one of the little clips she sent with it because she's a sweetheart. So just a quote and another quote. And then these, I kind of made fly leaves to cover this stuff up so it wouldn't get grungy. These are Post-it notes I found at Barnes & Noble. This is one of the things that has changed in this planner. It never fails in the fall, it seems like, my wardrobe and my planners. I always kind of go to more dark, muted colors. In the spring and the summer, I tend to go with brighter colors. So this is just regular old purple cardstock, not a big deal. And these were from Barnes & Noble. Those all came together, and those were also from Amy. And then this was another set of Post-its from Barnes & Noble. Same company, just a different pattern. So I stuck these in here. If I use them, I'm going to keep them in here. I just put them in yesterday. If I don't use them, I'm going to take them out. They do add a significant amount of bulk, but not so much that it's not workable. And then calendar setup, same as before. So I have my typical Filofax stuff in the front. There's that year at a glance fold-out calendar that you can print from Filofax. Again, that's the same as before. And then, let me scooch this over a little bit. These tabs I redid. This is just January through December. I just covered them, and it's not washi tape. It's actually, I put double-sided tape on there, covered it with origami paper, put the label on it on both sides, okay? Covered it with some clear, fairly heavy tape, almost like packing tape, and then I trimmed it to fit, and obviously that one I didn't trim too well. So that's how I did those. So in the calendar, September, this I'm still doing exactly the same, except I did a little bit of decorating. So this is going to be bills, paydays, and big events that I need to remember. Okay, like what night one of the boys has homecoming, next week one of the other boys has homecoming, you know, days that I paid tolls online, things like that. Otherwise, this is all pretty much money. Okay, so that's the same as before. And then I was using a week on a page, and I went to a week on 2 pages. Let me show you next week. That's a little bit easier. So there's my week on 2 pages in here. We have parent-teacher conferences next week, so that I wrote in. Again, this is pretty much just bill reminders, big events, you know, things I need to remember to do, you know, call in the meter reading on a certain day. Every other day I pick up different kids from different schools, so we got a lot of kids. We've got 6 kids in 4 schools, so the rotation of pickups and whatnot changes a little bit because hockey season has started, and I am once again a hockey widow. So I'm doing more running than I was doing before, so I need to keep track of that. So those are the kinds of things that go on these pages. And then in between these 2 pages, I've been using pretty much a page per day, and I'll insert them in here as I use them. So for that, I'll show you this week. So here is like what the page per day looks like. That's what the week on one page was looking like for me. So there's my week on a page, and then here are all the ones for this week. And I don't know, OCD about it, I guess. I want the decoration in here to match the decoration of my desk size, which I'll show you in a minute. So then these are just plain Filofax pages that I label. I tend to use up about 1 per day. This is where the using the 2 planners comes in handy. This has become where I put all of my detailed notes. Every little detail, you know, little idea that I want to remember that pops in my head out of nowhere, that kind of serves as my inbox for the day. And that way things don't fall through the cracks for me. Just a lot going on all the time. You know, Mom, I need this, and oh my gosh, I need to send that email, and all that stuff. So I have a page per day in there because this is always with me. And I'm a firm believer in taking advantage of stolen moments. So when I'm waiting for 10 minutes outside of somebody's school for them to come out, I can look at that list, even if I don't have my desk size planner with me, and go, okay, I've got 10 minutes. I can send that email. I can answer those questions, whatever the case may be. Oh my gosh, that'd be a really good idea for the book. I can jot it down on 1 page and I have it. Okay, so that's how this is working in conjunction with the other planner. And then the next section is the Think section. And in there I have 3 top tabs. These 3 go with this section. So YouTube.com and tech. So that's obviously just stuff for the YouTube channel. I have done a bunch of videos, so I'm missing some sheets in there right now. Once I finish the video, I take them out. So .com is just stuff for the blog. For those 2, the tracking things like stats, refers, clicks, you know, all that good stuff, that all sits in the desk size planner. I don't need to have that with me. If for some crazy reason I would need to know what those numbers were right at the drop of a hat, I can look it up on the phone really easily or on the iPad. So I don't keep all those stats in here, but for my own reference long term, that all gets put into my desk size planner. So that's something else that goes in there but does not go in here. And then tech is just work stuff, coding. So all that goes in here for that, I do have processes for work every time I set up a batch, every time I send out a batch. I have the process written out. Generally I can do it without having to refer to it right now, but if I'm really tired or really distracted, I don't want to miss anything because I'm just creating more work for myself. So that's something else that's also in the desk size, just the processes for those things. And then the next section is called Mine. So this is all about me. And I didn't show you. I still kept the other post-it notes the same, so YouTube and .com and tech stuff tend to all be in purple and pink, so that's why there's purple and pink post-its and tape flags there. The Mine section, my ink color when I color code tends to be pink, so there's more pink stuff there. And this is just my personal stuff, you know, 10 rules for writing first drafts, a list of stationery places, some quotes, my want list, thing I'm making for Mike, to read list, and then, oh my gosh, I'm rereading the Outlander series. Another YouTuber and someone who had left some comments on the site was looking for something to read, and she said she was thinking about Outlander, and I thought I should reread that. And I never reread anything, you guys. I do not have time to be rereading stuff. And I don't know, I got it in my head I wanted to reread it. So this time I'm trying to keep track of all the loose threads that run through this series. I thought it'd be fun for me since it's the third time I've read it. I never reread anything, let alone 3 times. And then the only top tab in the Mine section is for the book. So I have ideas, things I need to look up, works in progress, and then this list I need to still fill in. I just started filling this in the other day, the essays for the book that are done. So that's stuff that's ideas I haven't written yet, works in progress, I need to finish filling this out, and the essays that are done for it need to go on here. Just so I have one, physical place that's a log of that. And then behind it, I have just blank pages that I've already gone ahead and decorated. And this, again, is just double-sided tape and origami paper. So if you guys are looking for some alternatives to washi tape, if you're feeling like you don't have a lot to choose from or you're not liking what you have, that's a nice alternative. And the next section is the boys, and I won't show you that, but that's just like, my oldest son's checking account since he got his job, and their social security numbers and their student ID numbers and all that good stuff. So that's all in there, and that's all blue. So on the back of this they have blue post-it notes. And then this is the errands section. I use this section a lot. This, same as before, so orange to me is for errands. This has saved me from making multiple trips multiple times. I know if I am going to be near Target and I have time to make a pit stop, this is the stuff I need. And actually I need to cross some stuff off because this I got taken care of last night. And I put it on here too. Mike needed a new stylus. He either lost or destroyed his. If he lost it, he'll never admit it to me. And if it broke, then he probably wouldn't admit that to me either. So I know I can get that at Target or I can get it at Office Max. So I tend to keep these one separate post-it for each store. And then if I'm out and about, I can just grab it and go in. I generally take this whole thing in with me anyway, but I'll peel that post-it note and slap it right on the front or stick it to my phone so I have it. And it's just one less thing I'm fiddling with while I have Liam with me because he's 18 months old. He can be an armful. So that is what all of that is about. And then I've started the Christmas shopping list. And then this is the same pre-made grocery list as before. I did take one of the ones I have in the back. I printed out quite a few. This is the changes I want to make, things I want to add to it. I had vinegar on here twice because I'm really smart. We go through a lot of vinegar. I clean with it, but I don't go through so much I need it on the list twice. So these are all things I just want to add. Next time I go to print more pages out, I want to edit that a little bit. And then some blank paper, orange, because it's for money. And then behind that, I have a list that is the grocery totals. I usually once a month will pull that up on the phone. It'll give you a report. The app I use for my checkbook on the phone will give me a report for whatever category, so I'll just write it out per month. So just my own sick curiosity. And then this is the money section. This I really won't flip through either just because obviously it's our finances and whatnot. I do keep a paper checkbook in here. About 6 months ago or so, the app that I used prior to the app I'm using now to keep the checkbook went kablooey, and I lost all of that record keeping, which isn't that big of a deal because, if it's a business expense, I keep track of it in the desk size anyway. The bank has an app on the phone that you can go back and do all that, but I certainly wasn't going to re-enter all of it. So I do keep a paper one in here when I'm really in a hurry and I don't want to fiddle with getting into the phone and putting an expense in. I just jot it in here so I don't miss it. MO stands for monthly, and that is just, let me see if I can get you one here. That is written like this. So I just took plain green paper, green for money. It's just a month on a page written horizontally. So I just write in, the bill, the due date, and how much, just so I have a quick reference when I'm filling in that monthly calendar in the front. I don't want to miss anything, and sometimes I'm just more able to see everything when it's due, and I won't miss anything if it's just written in list format like this rather than on the grid calendar in the front. So I do have it in 2 places. If I miss something, if it's not in one place, it's in the other. So saves me from missing stuff. IND is for individual. I have 1 sheet for each individual bill we pay, like the electric bill, the gas bill, the car payment, the insurance payment, all that good stuff. Each one has its own sheet, and the due date, how much is owed, when I paid it, what I paid, if it's not the same as what is owed, and then any confirmation numbers. I pay most of the bills online. So, excuse me. And then save is just running totals for the savings account. Any big ticket items I'm saving for. I have a sheet in there where, I'll allocate, I put this much in the saving account. So much of that is for this big ticket item. So that's getting busier now that Christmas is coming. We've got some big ticket items to get. And then behind that, I just have a card holder, which has like the insurance cards, stuff like that in it. And then again, that same heavy page protector, just because it makes it nice to write on. And then in the back, I just have some labels and stickers and the 2014 year at a glance, just because I don't need it right now. And I've got a lot of stuff in here, so that thinned it out a little bit. So that is how the personal planner is working. Okay, now here is my desk size planner. It's a little bit of a tight fit in the screen there. Sorry guys, I'm trying to adjust things a bit. A lot of this setup is the same, except for, because I've been carrying the personal size more often, pretty much everywhere, some of the stuff that was in here went into that. A lot of the stuff for the book, that kind of on the go and the indexing stuff, that all went into the personal size, just because that's the stuff that'll pop in my head at the most random times. So, and I don't always have this with me. I carried this almost everywhere with me. This was the one planner that I used. And I found that, we'd go to, let's say, a school function, and I'd think, oh, I don't need to take that with me. I really need to take, snacks and a drink for Liam. This is kind of heavy. It's not horribly heavy by any stretch, and it's gorgeous. But I just thought, I don't want to really shove it in the diaper bag. I don't want anything to happen to it. So I'd bring it with, and it'd end up staying in the van. And then I would need it. It never failed. I would end up needing something out of the planner. So hence the personal size. So let's see if this will fit not too badly. I went from that soft flex from Daytimer to this Malibu leather. I love this thing. The setup is pretty much the same. You have a big pocket back here, zipper pouch here, smaller pocket here, and then card holders here. So everything's tippy and messy. That is all the same. I keep all the same stuff in there. They did send it with 2 page lifters, like I pointed out before, which I love, because I do have it kind of full, so that way when I close it, I can pick the whole thing up by the page lifters and then close the planner around it, and I know I'm not squishing anything up in here. So there's same picture from before. I need to print out smaller pictures that will fit into the personal size, because I don't have any pictures of anybody in the personal size. I feel kind of bad. So there they all are. And then this is the same as before. Just more of those same post-it notes, because I do use them in both planners. So I have those kind of spread out in the same cardstock. The Year at a Glance planner. This is an exact copy in both planners. I realize that sounds like a lot of overkill. I mean, I abbreviate on it, so it's not like it's a ton of writing. But as I said before, I'm once again a hockey widow until probably next April, if not a little bit later. So having all of the boys' schedules, Mike's schedule, it just helps me see down the road what I'm going to be able to work in for my stuff. So it's handy for me to have that in both planners. And then that is the hockey schedule written out. This is the 2014 Year at a Glance, same thing, printed from Filofax. And then all of this is the monthly stuff. None of this has changed. There's September. Now this has changed. Setup-wise, this hasn't changed. However, what I'm entering into the calendar has been able to change, because I'm no longer keeping bill reminders in here. All of the financial stuff is in the personal size. The only thing that has to do with money that will end up in here is stuff like, we needed to renew Mike's license plate sticker. So that I put in here just so that I see it all the time. And it's in the other planner too, because seriously, I will totally forget. And that would be bad. So that's the only thing that really has changed a lot, is what I have to keep all in one planner being split into 2. This calendar is a lot less messy than it was. It was crazy messy. Look at that. It's just so full. So this is a lot cleaner, to my mind at least. And then here are the last several, beginning of September. This is what I've been doing in here, and I hope I can stand this up so you can see it. This is what I've been doing for my week. 2 pages per week, okay, so a week on 2 pages. And this is what I was talking about in the last video. I like having vertical time grids, because I like to track my time. It's good for me to be able to go back and see where all my time went if I'm feeling like I'm not getting enough of my things done. So this is my week. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday through Sunday, and then the same thing here, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and notes for the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Okay? So that's how each week goes in here. There's the 9th through the 15th. There's last week. And then here is this week. See how they match into the personal size? Maybe that's crazy of me. I don't know. So, and then yesterday and then yet today have been insanely busy. So I still have stuff in the personal size that I need to, just a couple things I need to throw in here from yesterday. And then tasks for the weekend I need to put in. And then that would be next week. Same thing. Okay? Now here is where things have changed substantially. This is just the rest of the year in those weekly pages. Okay, this section is now YouTube and the blog. So this is where all of my stats tracking, I'm sorry, my brain just froze up. I hate it when that happens. I'm overly tired, you guys, seriously. Okay. All my stats tracking, anything you can get. I have a self-hosted WordPress site, so anything I can get for stats goes into here. When I do a video, when I make a blog post, generally if I do a video, I post it as a blog post anyway. So like here is for September, here are all of the posts. Orange would be stuff that I, kind of admin or house cleaning type of stuff for the website, like, plugins that need to be updated, plugins that I added, things like that. The blog and video ideas, this is kind of duplicated. If I think of something while I'm out and about and think, oh, that'd be a really good video to do, because I have my personal size with me, I'll jot it in there. I do generally copy it into here as well so that I see it in both places, because again, my brain is like a sieve. Everything will fall right through. So that is YouTube and the blog. And then here's where I have stuff for work. So, commands that I don't use very often, and then when I need them, I always have to go hunting them down. I just threw them on a Post-it note on there. Some of the process stuff, and then here I do the same thing on this calendar. I track, what I did, what day, hours, things like that. So that's what all is in there. Here's a page I screwed up. And then the P tab is for projects. So in my brain, at least, projects, goals, same thing, okay? So back here I have my yearly goal tracking sheet where you can write out, these are the things I would really like to do this year. And then you break them down. You break them down by month, and then you break them down by week. So you kind of nibble away at these huge goals you have little by little by little. And it's really, really good for you to see your progress. So your weekly tasks that, okay, this week to achieve that goal this month, I need to do this, 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 and this for the month. And then every week you go through those, write them in for your weekly tasks somewhere. And then that way you're chipping away at that goal little by little. Okay, so that's what's in there. And then this is stuff for the book. And I'm kind of debating. A lot of it I type. I type it into IA Writer on the iPad just because I like the format of it. It's very clean, not a lot of distractions and formatting. But sometimes I do write by hand. Sometimes I just feel like writing by hand. And I have an 8.5 by 5 Moleskine that I write in. So I'm thinking about pulling those out of the Moleskine and putting them in here. The downside to that is, really look at when I turn this, my pages are already right at the center of my rings. And there's a lot of writing in that Moleskine. So I don't know that moving it in here would be a good idea. The upside to moving it in here is I can move it around. So as the layout of the book gets further along, I can shuffle those essays around and put them in whatever order I want. I have to physically do that on paper. That's just how my head works. And then, so I don't know what I'm going to do with that yet. We'll see. And then back here, same thing. Post-its, tape flags, and extra grid paper and lined paper. So that is how the desk size is working. If I wasn't very clear, I feel like I talked about 1,000,000 miles an hour. If that wasn't clear, if you have any other questions about how they're kind of working in conjunction, the two planners with each other, let me know and I will clear it up. Upside today, we've only heard Motorcycle Man once. Actually, I think I hear him coming down the other side of the block now. So you guys have a fantastic day and enjoy your weekend, okay? Bye.